Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Kuri, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. So within a sexless relationship, the constraint within the relationship isn't her sexual response. And when it comes to sexual response, we view that, is the thing that is the problem. So I've tried seduction and I've not got a sexual response. Therefore, the problem is the sexual response. This is how most people view it, including therapists, including intimacy coaches. So usually what they end up doing and what most people do is that they come up with a bright idea. Let me give you more sex. And then it goes terribly wrong. And then sometimes you say, okay, maybe giving more sex is probably not the right thing to do. So let me try and figure out something else to do. So you sort of have this sit down talk and start talking about how to fix this response situation. So she thinks, I might need to, maybe it's because I'm tired. So you go around this path of now trying to do more dishes, trying to clean around the house, follow more of the children and do more of that. And even though you're working a job, you come home and you do another job of looking after the house, and even then that's still not enough. So you find yourself that sexual response is still not happening. So you feel like you hear people telling you about you need to make more time, you need to make more date nights. So you do so, and again, still no sexual response. So something else has to be happening. And again, when it comes from moving from sexless to sexual success, it always comes down to that you have to consider the behaviors, or at least the blueprints of how that person feels affection, the blueprint of how they feel loved, how they feel validation. And this is one of the things that we've been looking at within Reignited Men with the guys. And one of the things which has been a massive breakthrough for some of the guys, because when you view it from that perspective, then it sort of takes you out of the frame of mind that you need to do something in order to induce sexual response. In fact, you might need to do something, but you might be doing the wrong things to induce sexual response. So when moving you to doing the right things to get sexual response, and usually the right thing is probably not even doing anything, which is the case for the guys when I was speaking to them in Reignited Men, because we're looking at from the standpoint of when she was a child and when she was growing up, what was the parenting style that they were experiencing when it comes to affection, when it comes to receiving love, when it comes to her communicating her needs within the relationship, or at least when her experiencing love within that relationship. When you start viewing it from that perspective, you start seeing this clear blueprint of how she would receive love within a relationship. And generally, most people that are within a sexless relationship, especially women, they were always loved from an arm's length. So what that means is that there's not a lot of affection, there was not a lot of sort of building this warm blanket of comfort, or at least where she feels safe. So using affection as a way of I'm feeling safe, I want to feel close to you. So that is something that is foreign to them. And obviously, initially when you got into a relationship, it's a little bit different, because again, there was motivations for her to get into the relationship, and there were things that were happening emotionally from an emotional standpoint, but from a hormonal standpoint. So again, that boiled over, and then that discovery within the relationship, especially when you're discovering each other within the relationship, when you're boyfriend and girlfriend and you're getting to know each other, you had this experience of really letting go of those insecurities, trying to explore yourselves into different people and trying to mold yourself into different people. And generally, you did this over a period of time. And as things started getting stale, you wanted to secure the relationship more. So, for example, you started off as boyfriend and girlfriend, and then the sex started sort of dying down. Things started sort of, again, you have to look at it as if, going back, you have to look at it as if it's like a wave. So if the boyfriend and girlfriend wave goes up and instead of going down, and instead of feeling this sort of, okay, maybe there's something going on here, we need to rewrite the wave again. So you then try and go back onto another wave, which ended up being the let's move in together wave. So he wrote that, and then it wasn't enough to move in together and stay together. Let's get married wave. Then you did that, and then you got the children, and now there isn't anything else that is there to secure your relationship. And what normally happens is that that feeling of the going down of the wave, that was you now defaulting back to what you experienced as a child. So for example, if she was loved at an arm's length, she now was experiencing that. Now, most guys, when it comes to sexual supply, for lack of a better term, so if she's offering sexual supply, and that was a lot of supply in the beginning of the relationship, because she's the source of supply and gives you that opportunity, you start making yourself available more and more. So instead of you sort of evolving to somebody that can deal with her in a way that she feels most loved, which is loving it at arm's length, you become the one that is sort of trying to draw her in for her to feel more loved. So you've got this dichotomous thing that's happening that is in conflict, where you're trying to pull her in order for her to feel loved. And she's like, no, I don't want to be loved that way because I'm used to be feeling like this, this sort of being loved from the arm's length. And I think the best way of explaining this is more like, for example, if any of you like dog breeds, they're all different. They all got different mannerisms. But in order for you that healthy to have a fulfilling life, you have to build an environment for it. So my favorite dog is is a Cane Corso, and the Cane Corso is big, is very protective. He's very energetic, so he needs a lot of space. He needs to be exercising. He needs to be doing heavy workload, and he needs to be mentally stimulated. So I have to create that environment. If I just decided to treat him like a lapdog, for example, he would start tearing up the house because he would just go crazy. So again, you think your wife is crazy and she's not. Her sexual response is gone. Part of it is because you're not approaching her with the way that she feels most connected to you. She felt most connected to her mom because her mom kept her at her mom's length. So she felt the need to fight for attention. She felt the need in order to feel closer to her mom, she felt the need of striving to get that love for her. And that's what worked for her. And that's how she feels she needs to be loved. So when you make yourself readily available, she doesn't know what to do with it. It's like a cat. You know, when you play with a cat and you've got the cat toy, it goes nuts, and you think, oh, you really, really want this thing. You give the cat the toy, and all of a sudden they're not interested in the thing. And that's similar to what happens. And this dynamic plays out consistently. Now, not all of you wives need you to be at arm's length, and there's part of things that we've been teaching guys within Reignited Men on how to actually employ that, where you put it at arm's length, and then she actually starts chasing after you. So there's this sort of change in psychology. Now you're giving her what she needs in order for her to start feeling love, and for her to feel affection and feel closer to you, because again, that's the blueprint that has been set for her. So therefore she needs that in order to feel what you want to give her. So it's a very powerful message that we've been giving the guys in Reignited Men. We've seen a lot of success with it. It's opened their eyes, especially on how to do this. And again, when it comes to Reignited Men, right now it's closed. We're not opening any slots. We'll let you know. If you want to know about it, just go and join us on Instagram. And once you join us, we'll have your Instagram so I can contact you. The Instagram you need to follow is thriving_tribesmen. And when you do so, you can follow us, and we'll tell you more about how to join Reignited Men. In fact, we're not going to be opening any slots anytime soon. Possibly might be opening next year. Maybe we might open before. So we're still not sure. We'll let you know when that's going to happen. So thank you very much for listening. We'll be seeing you soon. Take care.